Oh, is he? Yeah, make sure you do. And
Good morning. If everyone could take their seats, we'll get started shortly.
wow. Geez, you should think about running for council. Better than I do. Well, you want? Yeah, I was going out. Great. Have your notes or is it different?
Good morning, everyone. Good to see all of you here. Thanks for being here. We really appreciate it. I am Mayor Pro Tem Tracy Snyder, and on behalf of our City Council, welcome to Commerce City's annual State of the City Address. In addition to my council colleagues, which will be introduced in a little bit, I'd like to acknowledge the following elected officials and others that have joined us so kindly today. Please stand when we call your name. Adams County Commissioner Skip Fisher. Adams County District Attorney Don Quick. Adams County Clerk and Recorder Karen Long. Brighton Mary Dick McLean. Glendale Mayor Larry Hart. Adams 14 Board of Education President Jeanette Lewis. Hannah Mullen representing Congressman Ed Perlmutter. Jim Robinson, Adams County Administrator. Barry Gore, Adams County Economic Development. David Pox, Commerce City Business and Professional Association. Maria Gonzalez, Commerce City Minority Business Association. Ron Ashe, United Power CEO. John Gallagher, Suncor. Deb Obermeyer, Metro North CEO. Barry Gore, President and CEO of Adams County Economic Development. We're going to get you twice. You're that important to us. Superintendent Ron Blank. Is there any others that slipped in the back door that I didn't see? If so, please stand to be recognized. Oh, Adams County Treasurer, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate that. Any others? Okay, well, thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Our community has many outstanding youth. We are honored to have students from both school districts participate in today's festivities. Please stand as the Adams City High School Marine Corps Junior ROTC presents the colors, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. We will remain standing for our national anthem, sung by 7th graders from Stewart Middle School. I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated. And thank you to Stewart Middle School. Weren't they great? Let's give them another round of applause. Thank you so much. Great job. It has been my distinct pleasure to represent the residents of Commerce City in Ward 4, as well as serving alongside the Mayor Paul Natal as Mayor Pro Tem. Mayor Natal is a second-generation American who has worked tirelessly for the last 4 years to help the city to transition from a quiet town of 20,000 people into a lively city of more than 45,000. We have certainly grown. During his tenure, the city has become an very influential voice in the Denver metropolitan area. The mayor represents the city and its interests in numerous organizations, serving as a member of the Adams County Economic Development Board, the Metro Mayor Caucus Executive Board, and the Governor's Regional Air Quality Council, just to name a few. I'd like to introduce Mr. Mayor of Commerce City, Paul Natal, who will now share the state of our city with you today. Thank you, Paul.
Good morning, everybody, before you leave. There's absolutely no way, there's absolutely no way that I could ever thank Mayor Pro Tem Snyder enough for all that she has done in order to make these last 2 years absolutely my best and my favorite. And I want to thank you a bunch. Thanks. Or I'll start reading yours also. Good morning again. This being my last Commerce City State of the City, it means an awful lot to me. We've been through a lot of stuff in the last 4 years. It's been phenomenal. I want to thank Mayor Pro Tem Snyder, and I can't thank her enough for all she's done. These last 2 years would have been almost unbearable if it hadn't been for her and my wife, Kathy. I want to also thank the students from Adams 14 and Brighton 27J school districts. They're a shining example of how bright the future of our city is. If these are the kids that we're bringing up through the schools today, we don't have anything to worry about. What I want to do is tell everybody now, the easiest thing would be to just say, you know what, the state of our city is strong, and just stop now and let you all go home and you can go to work early. But you know what happens when a politician gets a microphone. From the new businesses and job creation to the lowest crime rate in 5 years, Commerce City has much to be proud of. In my last address as mayor, I reflect not just on last year's accomplishments, but that of my entire term. The growth of the city, more than doubling the population over the past 10 years, and our ability to provide services and amenities without the doubling of revenues over the same time period has been absolutely amazing. This is a credit to our progressive city council and the dedicated city staff that are in attendance and watching today. If you would indulge me, I'd just like to recognize a few of my colleagues who serve the city every day and ask them to please stand. Again, Mayor. Okay, thank you. Mayor Pro Tem and Ward 4 Councilwoman Tracy Snyder. At-large Councilwoman Kathy Teeter. At-large Councilman Renee Bullock, who I've actually had the pleasure of serving with twice. Ward 1 Councilman Dominic Marino. Thank you very much. Special thanks goes to all of our families, including my wife Kathy, if she'll stand up and just be recognized for a minute. They allow us to spend so much time away from home to build a community of which everyone can be proud. And I appreciate all their support. I'd like to ask the city leadership team and employees to stand and be recognized. Without their hard work, we wouldn't be able to execute all of the great council ideas. I also want to thank City Manager Jerry Flannery for your leadership and energy. You actually have been the catalyst for everything that we've done and all our successes. Thank you, Jerry. Finally, thank you to all of you in attendance and those watching on Channel 8 or online. You represent the strength of our city, from community leaders and businesses to nonprofits, employees, and government partners. Your dedication to Commerce City and daily contributions are helping build a quality community for a lifetime. It is so nice to see so many of your faces out here in the audience. I know the last few years have been difficult for many within our city. The global financial crisis and subsequent national recession created tremendous uncertainty in personal and professional pocketbooks. But as I said last year, I'm proud that our city has taken a bold, proactive approach to making our own opportunities. Through careful planning, we've weathered the worst of the Great Recession. Today, more than 62% of our residents believe that the Denver metro area is generally heading in the right direction. As the metro area, state, and even country begin to slow economic recovery, Commerce City is situated to take advantage of those opportunities that we've made for ourselves. We know Commerce City's got a reputation, and no, it's not the urban legends that people have heard. We're a progressive city, a regional leader within the metro area, business-friendly and well-positioned, thanks to the fiscally responsible practices and strategic planning efforts. In fact, 55% of our residents rate the quality of life in Commerce City as good or very good, which means we are moving in the right direction. I believe this sentiment is a testament to the deliberate decisions made by City Council that will enable Commerce City to continue the growth trend well into the future. Strategic planning has become a cornerstone of 2010 and 2011 City Council retreats and discussions. I'd like to thank Councilors McEldowney and Marino for taking a leadership role in this process, including the collaboration with Councilor Carson and Bullock to ensure all of us focus on the big picture as we move forward. I'm thinking even more about the big picture in closing this chapter of my public life. Looking over the last 6 years, I thought about the city moniker, Quality Community for a Lifetime, and how our collective accomplishments support that statement. I've also thought about how the goals established by City Council for this year and the next will further cement our status as a regional and national leader. During my address last May, I challenged everyone in the room and across the city to make the next 12 months more than what they expected. I asked you to plan for your personal success and happiness while working to make our city and community better. I asked all of you to seek and seize upon those opportunities. Today, I'd like to reflect on how the city stepped up to that challenge, framing it within the context of the city's tagline. Clearly, the accomplishments of the last 12 months demonstrate that Commerce City doesn't just talk the talk, we walk the walk every single day, creating a quality community for all generations. When you think of our name, it's no wonder that we mean business. Commerce City is home to nearly 1,300 businesses. Expanding our thriving business community was a top priority for City Council last year. I'm excited that we have seen tremendous movement and growth in our economic development efforts, even with the challenges encountered. Thank you, Brittany, and your staff. Diverse business interests are important to our community. We are home to many international regional facilities and national headquarters, such as Schirm-Burley, Burco Chemical, and Atlas Capco. We are also an incubator for small businesses, which make up 71% of all the Commerce City businesses. And according to the Small Business Administration, more than 3/4 of all new jobs are created by small businesses. These opportunities are here, and small businesses are here in Commerce City. About this time last year, Council approved the first ever strategic plan for economic development, defining 5 key target industries for the city. Since that time, staff focused on attracting and retaining existing businesses within these industry clusters, including Cummins Rocky Mountain LLC, who will soon open the largest high-horse diesel engine remanufacturing center in the U.S. at 104th and Havana. It's been great watching that building go up. Stiletto's Grocery and Deli, also at 104th and Chambers, which provides a much-needed service for our residents up north. King Soopers Marketplace, which is expected to open on 104th and Chambers towards the end of 2012, will finally fill our residents' hunger, no pun intended, for a grocery store. Waited a while for that. Canopy Parking, the world's greenest parking lot, sits south of Penny on Tower Road and incorporates solar, wind, and biofuel shuttles in their business model. If you ever get a chance, take a tour of that place. It's unbelievable how much recycle is in there. North Forest Office Properties on 104th and Potomac, second office and medical facility to open in Commerce City's northern range. Bake Fresh in our southern industrial core provides top quality fresh bakery items, for select retail and convenience store operations, including items sold at 7-Eleven stores. Pacheco Construction Products also opened in the southern part of our city and produces precast retaining walls for transportation projects. Exodus Moving and Storage opened in the city and is planning to add up to 300 new jobs this year. We've also seen existing businesses expand facilities or employment opportunities. Rentec, a biofuel company, recently expanded their operation in Commerce City. Oneida Cold Storage also is expanding their operation over 100,000 square feet. Haug Special Services grew 20% in 2010, and Suncor will be adding more than 100 well-paying jobs this year, and we appreciate that. We've also been able to see expansions in renewable and new energy industries. Douglas Colony, for example, expanded their business model to include solar panel installations. We have some of those in our building we'll talk about later. Part of this success was due to the creation and extension of the city's incentive program. The program was a creative and effective strategy to position the city to survive during the downturn and achieve greatness during the recovery. In 2010, Commerce City provided more than $2.5 million in incentives to businesses, home builders, homeowners, resulting in the creation of nearly 450 jobs and over $30 million in capital investments. And we know that these investments are working. Auditors verified the program goals are being met, ensuring these jobs remain intact for 2 years, providing a sustainable benefit to community. The incentive program ends in June this year, and our efforts have attracted national attention. We've actually been asked to speak at a couple of conferences throughout the U.S. Council will evaluate the entire program in the coming months, including identifying how these tools can potentially be used permanently moving forward. The success of our inaugural Business Summit led us to host a second one in January. The purpose of the summits is to find out what Commerce City is doing well to strengthen businesses, as well as to identify items that we need to improve. We learned there's significant optimism among local businesses. More than 60% of the people out there, or the businesses out there, plan on hiring staff within the coming year, an increase of more than 35% from 2010. A little over 50% plan to implement capital improvements, and this is more than double from last year. This success has led to another business summit focusing the unique needs of our minority business community and how the city could better support their growth and development. Since that time, there have been many discussions facilitated by Maria Gonzalez, who I see in the audience, about how to best organize and help develop a voice for this group moving forward. But there's always room for improvement. Businesses told us that there is a need for more cross-collaboration and promotion of existing and new companies within the city, including providing more online resources for business and residents. I want to thank the entire business community for being great corporate citizens. Without you creating jobs and investing in Commerce City, we would not be as successful as we are today. Rest assured, staff is working hard to address these suggestions, refining the Economic Development Strategic Plan to incorporate your feedback. I hope you will also consider applying to sit on our ED Business Advisory Committee, joining interested citizens in advancing our economic outlook. Here's your chance to be truly involved in how the city performs. In 2010 and 11, 64 prospects visited Commerce City, up nearly 30% from the previous year. I want to thank Director Brittany Morris and her economic development team for their tireless efforts. We have even more opportunities on the horizon, and I know the ED staff, along with our city manager, is pursuing many prospects to further strengthen our economic position. You know the E470 corridor is such an area of opportunity for Commerce City. Our location, adjacent to the nation's 5th busiest airport, is perfect to accelerate our DIA technology industry cluster in partnership with businesses, property owners, developers, and residents supporting the new Aerotropolis. Notice one of our large developers out here in the audience tonight. In the northern part of our city, generating new development along 104th and 120th Avenue, where infrastructure is readily available, also will support these efforts. The city's investment in 104th Avenue, approved by the voters, helps fuel the interest. Now, how many of you can remember going down 104th prior to us being here, trying to get to the airport on a one-lane in each direction road? Thanks to City Engineer Darren Sterling for continuing to advance these important improvements while being a good steward of taxpayer funding. While Walmart decided not to take advantage of our incentive program, they still own the property at 104th and Tower. We will continue to work with them on a new store as well as a remodel of their existing facility in the south. Here we are at Victory Crossing, home of the Major League Soccer champions, the Colorado Rapids. As I said last year, this unique public-private partnership resulted in the new Adams City High School, our Civic Center, and continues to be a model for other municipalities. I'm confident we'll begin to see development here prior to 2014 as the economy strengthens and the rebranding efforts of this location expand. We also continue to encourage infill opportunities that strengthen our core. From the site of the former dog track to the revitalization of historic Derby District, both are important to our city. To the Derby Business Association, we've been and will continue to make investments in the future downtown Commerce City, where people can walk, shop, and play where they live. Tom Clark of Metro Denver Economic Development Corporation says a healthy workforce and healthy children make Colorado more appealing to employers. Commerce City has always been doing its part to provide opportunities to residents to make better health and wellness decisions. Last year, over 119,000 people dropped in to visit the city's 67,000 square foot rec center. The Parks and Rec Department offered more than 1,000 programs last year and well over 9,700 program registrations for 2010. With 875 children in our pre-K programs to 3,000 older adults participating in programs such as volleyball, water walkers, there really is something for everybody here in Commerce City. And it's not just the rec center that provides healthy benefit. Last year we built 4.5 miles of soft service trails, which will eventually be part of the 17-mile Second Creek Greenway Regional Trail. We built 2 playgrounds in Bell Creek and Foxton Village, updated Stampede Park shelters, and renovated the turf in Rose Hill Grange. Last year, 14,600 volunteer hours were contributed from seniors, youth, volunteer coaches, and citizens to work on park and trail projects, consistent with our Prairie Gateways Action Plan. I want to thank Parks and Rec Director Carolyn Keith, and I'm not sure if she's here today. Thank you, Carolyn, and her entire team for providing amazing programs and services that encourage active lifestyles for all our residents. Beyond providing these amenities, we're also developing partnerships that result in healthier choices and healthier schools. The city passed a smoking ban for trails and parks in the city at the request of our youth. We continue to work with the school districts to create events that promote healthy lifestyles, such as last year's inaugural Running with the Buffalo, which is actually bison, 5K race. The city is also leading by example. The Employee Wellness Committee, chaired by Robert Buck and Carol Thomas, promote a high level of physical activity among staff and residents. The city provides discounted rec center memberships to employees and their families. We also provide workout facilities for employees right here at our Civic Center. We challenge ourselves in fitness and even our neighbors. I'm looking forward to battling Mayor McLean in the Battle of the Bulge that kicks off next month. But clearly, I will only beat him on number of pounds, never by percentage. If he loses what I need to lose, he's going to be in the hospital. Our efforts to expand active lifestyle choices have been nationally recognized by the White House Let's Move campaign and Kaboom's Playful City USA designation for the second year in a row. Live Well Colorado has acknowledged our efforts on a statewide level as well. We are even sought out for piloting programs such as Kaiser Permanente's new Weigh and Win kiosk at the rec center, which provides cash incentives to community members for weight loss. As a member of the Mayor's Caucus Health and Wellness Committee, I'm excited to be leading the way in this area. I want to again recognize the mayor from Glendale, who's also on that committee with me. Moving forward, we're focusing on access to affordable and healthy food. Commerce City is in the early stages of a partnership with community nonprofits and other neighborhood groups to develop 3 neighborhood gardens starting this summer. The Anythink Library Garden still has plots available for community members to participate. They're going to have a groundbreaking, I think, a couple of weeks on a Saturday, and I'll be down there with a shovel, as will some of my council members. We're also working to secure funding as part of a regional partnership to study a comprehensive food accessibility study for Adams County. We've also heard from residents this year that they desire additional amenities that provide health and wellness benefits. More parks, open space, and trails are at the top of the community's wish list. As we look at the long-range financial plans this summer, residents will be able to help Council determine how we can provide these types of facilities. While we have one of the youngest populations in the metro area, state trends tell us that the demographics will continue to evolve. It's kind of a nice way of saying that we age a little bit. If we are able to accommodate all of our residents' needs, then the city needs to rethink how our citizens travel. We're fortunate here in Commerce City that is centrally located along Colorado's bustling range, adjacent to 6 major highways, Denver International Airport, both railroads, and the East and North Metro commuter rail lines. Last year, City Council approved a multimodal transportation plan for the city, incorporating several existing plans into one comprehensive document that creates city's guidelines, identifies new corridors and connections needed all in one place. Director Greg Clements and the entire Public Works Department are working hard to implement these ideas, as well as preserve our existing infrastructure through preventive maintenance activities. We continue to work with our congressional delegation to secure funds for local transportation products that have a regional benefit, from offsetting city costs on 104th to securing a promised on-ramp from Tower Road to Pena Boulevard. City Council has elevated the discussion and partnered with local governments such as Aurora and other private interests to advance these priorities. Our capital improvement program has made significant infrastructure improvements within the city, including the 96th Avenue State Highway 4 or Highway 2 project, which is scheduled for completion later this summer. Actually, we should see that open up within the next few weeks. This $6.8 million project will improve the safety of the intersection and railroad crossing, expanding the quiet zones that provide a benefit for adjacent neighborhoods. In fact, thanks to project manager Glenn Ellis, westbound 96 should be open as early as the week of May 16th. Design is also complete for the last phase of 104th Avenue project between the O'Brien Canal and Bell Creek Boulevard. City awarded the next piece of construction, the US 85 104th intersection, to Commerce City contractor Halesco International. The $3.46 million project will begin in the coming months. We've also received a $150,000 grant last year to develop a bicycle and pedestrian community plan. Tonight, there's actually going to be an open house at Connor Community Center from 5 to 7 to talk about planning activities that get community feedback. According to Parks planner Tracy Ferguson, a draft plan will be available later this year. The complete plan will set the stage for future capital improvement projects that facilitate identified improvements, truly make us a city that embraces all modes of transportation. We are also engaged in regional transportation projects that have a major impact on our communities. Part of the Regional Transportation District's Fast Track program, the North Metro Corridor, will provide tremendous development and growth opportunities around our city station. We need to ensure that Fast Tracks is completely built so all our residents receive the benefits of a regional transit network will provide. We also need to make sure that the city preserves opportunities for future transit corridors and service to other parts of our city. City also spent last year working on a collaborative process to identify a solution for I-70 East. We were concerned about the possible impacts of the realignment, and while not final, the group seems to be leaning towards keeping I-70 where it's at. While we still need to actively participate to ensure our interests are incorporated, I applaud the Colorado Department of Transportation for creating an inclusive and transparent decision-making process, and including not only local governments, but members of the community. I want to give out a special thanks to Guillermo Cerna, Jimmy Birds, and Scott Jakewith, as well as Tom Akers and Brian McBroom for representing Commerce City in this thing. Thanks to Chief Baca and the fully staffed police department, the number of crimes within our city has declined 8.3% from 2009. The chief is 3 years into a strategic plan to implement community policing throughout the city. We opened a new northern substation in the Shea Shopping Park last year, which has increased police presence throughout the city and decreased response time. These efforts are paying off. From 2006 to 2009, Commerce City has seen nearly a 31% decrease in crime. Our recent survey confirms that 79% of our residents are somewhat or very satisfied with the city's public safety efforts and feel somewhat or very safe in their neighborhoods. Our new Business Watch and Neighbors to Neighbors crime prevention programs are models for other municipalities in the region. Officer Tom Poe and Kyla Fender effort to reach out to businesses hasn't gone unnoticed. In fact, burglaries are down nearly 45% from 2005 and 11.9% from last year. A credit to the community policing philosophy we practice every single day. Participating in regional partnerships such as East Metro Auto Theft Team, Metro Gang Task Force, and Metro North Task Force contribute to the safety for our city. Our police department gleans intelligence information from these task force groups and has the added benefit of having the entire task force manpower, investigative experience, training, and equipment at our disposal. The task force groups are a real force multiplier for us and greatly benefit our community. Kudos to the entire police department, and especially those division commanders for ensuring business and resident safety. Commerce City represents a diversity of people, history, thought, businesses, and homes where opportunities are everywhere. Our diverse community can supply a broad, talented workforce to support a wide range of jobs, from line workers to managers and executives. I'm excited to see that we are celebrating the city's diversity and unique areas. For example, with many distinct neighborhoods, our community, with the support of local nonprofit community enterprise, has been meeting with city staff to how to best establish neighborhood identities throughout the city. I know my colleagues and I look forward to hearing more about the proposal in the coming months. Last year I talked about how proud I was that 75% of the city responded to the census, tying us for the highest response rate in Adams County and exceeding the state's response rate. We're now beginning to see the results of that information. Commerce City is the fourth fastest growing city in the state, and we've more than doubled our population in just 10 years. We also learned that more than 47% of our population is of Hispanic origin. The city's population growth is evidenced by the increasing number of new housing starts in 2010, where we actually had 235 building permits filed last year, which was an unbelievable number from the years before. Our C3 vision plan, which projects future growth, was validated by the latest census data. Planning manager Chris Kramer and his team was only 400 individuals off from the 2010 population numbers released by the U.S. Census. I think they just probably missed one street. The data reinforces the challenges faced by the city with a fast-growing and changing population. How do we provide ample and quality services that benefit all facets of our community while being cognizant of our fiscal responsibilities? One way is by securing federal, state, and private grants to augment our services. Over the past year, Commerce City has secured more than $1.3 million in grants throughout the city. We've achieved a 76% success rate of grants applied for. These funds include federal block grants, which will be difficult, if not impossible, to secure in the future. Given the federal budget, we hope our continued meeting and strong relationships with our congressional delegation will help protect grant funding for important local programs, such as police officers, energy efficiency in the future. I want to thank Leanne Noel, if she's in the audience. She's our grant writer. Thank you. The city's senior center and Encore programs provide opportunities for older adults to become more connected in the community and learn new activities. We heard seniors wanted more engagement and leadership. A recent senior focus meeting helped identify opportunities. Council is committed to working with our older adult population, which I am now becoming one of, to ensure that they have a voice in the decision-making process. Our youth programs continue to expand thanks to more than $64,000 in grants from the U.S. Department of Justice to encourage positive teen programs and proactive engagement with police. We've also partnered with the school district to provide a temporary location for a local Boys and Girls Club and have been meeting with community leaders to identify long-term locations. It's my intention to announce a permanent location for the club within the city core in the next few months. This also thanks to Mayor Pro Tem Snyder, who has been spearheading this Boys and Girls Club. We also saw more than $145,000 distributed by the Quality Community Foundation. When you think about it, I can't think of another city that provides grants to ensure that our most vulnerable citizens have support and services that they need. Congratulations to Debbie Mitchell and the rest of the board. Thank you for leading the charge to determine how best to invest this money in our community. Serving all our residents also requires the city to develop and maintain a high level of customer service. Last year, I talked about the development of the city's Customer Service Advancement Task Force team, which was created to develop and maintain a high level of customer service. The group came up with almost 100 action items, and more than half have already been implemented. Proof is in the pudding. Nearly 75% of our residents have had a generally positive customer service experience with city staff. Led by IT Director John Howard, the team continues to develop an efficient, effective, and knowledgeable staff, maintaining a focus on continuous improvement. When Commerce City was hit by one of the worst hailstorms last year, our staff demonstrated the high level of customer service we tend to expect. From Alan Cullen, Office of Emergency Management, to building official Patrick Buckley, we were able to not only provide effective incident response, but approve more than 3,000 permits in the last year to help residents repair damage. Another example of serving residents is the city's Passport Acceptance Agency, certified by the U.S. Department of State. The program, created by City Clerk Laura Bauer, provides yet another service to our diverse community. Since opening in 2009, the city has doubled the number of passport applications and photos processed, as well as revenue from the program. The clerk's office anticipates 600 applications and $20,000 in revenue just this year. While we're getting to be a bigger city, we want to maintain the friendly, neighborly atmosphere found in smaller communities. The state's largest Memorial Day parade is held every year here in Commerce City, thanks to numerous staff volunteer hours. We've completed the Veterans Memorial renovation and renamed City Park to Veterans Memorial Park as part of our tribute to veterans. We also co-host events like Fourth Fest with the Colorado Rapids and Derby Days with the Derby Business Association. I look forward to seeing all of you at these unique upcoming events in the coming months. We are blessed to having some amazing amenities throughout our city. The Rocky Mountain Arsenal National Wildlife Refuge will soon open its new visitor center to the north of us. And if you look just to the north of us as you leave here, you can see how far that building has come. More importantly, the entrance to the facility will be right next door to us. As part of the amenity, a new 200-person amphitheater will be built later this year, which will be great for future events. The transportation of the Arsenal into the largest land-based urban wildlife refuge in the country is a testament to numerous Commerce City residents and leaders. I look forward to welcoming thousands of new visitors to our city to experience this hidden gem. Our award-winning Buffalo Run Golf Course hosted over 35,000 rounds of golf last year, operating in the black for the first time. The city also took over operations of the Bison Grill at the Buffalo Run Golf Course to provide breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You really need to try this restaurant. It's wonderful for whatever meal you're up there at. We continue to make improvements at the course, including the installation of an ozone diffusion system to improve irrigation water quality and reduce the needs for chemical applications to turf. We continue to host some of the best tournaments in the state. Please keep up the good work, Paul Hebick and Josh Polgar, and I think I saw them here today too, in increasing our rounds and securing repeat course and restaurant customers. We have world-class parks and special district amenities. With 17 city-owned parks, 24 miles of trails, and nearly 640 acres of open space, we're doing our part to create recreational areas. Our commitment to planting and caring of trees resulted in designation as a Tree City, USA, for the 20th year. Our special districts have complemented the city's efforts, providing great facilities at Bell Creek and Reunion, for example. To the east of us, at Dick's Sporting Goods Park, the largest soccer complex in the world, and the only professional sports station outside of the city of Denver, More importantly, the success of the Colorado Rapids as the 2010 Major League Soccer champions has brought new attention to the club, the stadium, and Commerce City. The facility has hosted numerous music events as well as signature charity events that really add another dimension to our city. I would encourage everyone to go check out an upcoming home game. We appreciate the strong relationships with Jeff Plush and Kroenke Sports Enterprises to strengthen and promote this venue in the future. We have also partnered with the Commerce City Historical Society to preserve the city's rich heritage by providing occupancy to an abandoned service station along Highway 2 once used to fuel city vehicles. Prior to this single repository site, everything that they were collecting was everywhere. It was in people's basements, it was people's closets, it was everywhere. It's hoped that having this single storage location will put the organization in a better position to not only keep track of its possessions, but to accept more items that people want to donate. The Society was formed less than 2 years ago. The Society already has achieved nonprofit status, established an annual fundraiser that is always sold out, and formed partnerships with other area historical associations to further their resources. Congratulations to Joanne Stevenson, Deborah Bullock, and the rest of the Society for their boundless energy. I know I speak for all of the council when I say we're looking forward to seeing what you all will do next. Another group focused on providing amenities that furthers the city mission, Commerce City Cultural Council. The purpose of this council is to advance art, music, theater, dance in the city. The group, led by Paola Diaz, hello, sir, has held evenings of art, is planning a summer concert series at River Run this July, and is creating a public art master plan. I'm really excited about future plans for this group and encourage all of us to support them by attending planned events. Standards are extremely important, especially for a growing community. Ensuring that yards are tidy, sidewalks are shoveled, and weeds are trimmed demonstrates that we have civic pride. Since becoming a home rule city more than 40 years ago, our code has a lot of conflicting information. So last year, City Council directed staff to undertake the monumental task and completely rewrite the ordinances. Thanks to Karen Stevens, Greg Graham, and Bob Gaylor for their hard work on this project. The C3 vision, comprehensive plan I talked about last year, is also being implemented, setting standards for how new developments and growth should look throughout the city. We've also worked at streamlining the process for ensuring standards are met, creating a design review team that engages all of the key departments at once, ensuring effective communications and dialogue. Neighborhood Services worked hard to proactively educate our residents on these ordinances. During this year's retreat, the community told us it was important to remain consistent with enforcing the code throughout the city, and that's something we'll be working on for this coming year. I want to thank the tireless work of Dave Letter and his team, who are at the front lines of customer service every day. We've also had to deal with changing federal, state regulations that have an impact on how we do business and maintain our state of community. We proactively established medical marijuana zoning ordinances, setting the standard for other municipalities to follow. As we look forward to discussing how to move forward with licensing, once the state's legislative session wraps up and we get more clarity on how this legislation will affect our current processes. Commerce City leaders are taking action to be good stewards of the environment. Last year, the city's municipal buildings underwent an exhaustive energy audit conducted in part by the Department of Energy stimulus funding obtained through the Governor's Energy Office. Between March and November, the audit tracked gas, water, and energy consumption. It also tracked how employees and seasonal changes affected energy use. The audit was a critical first step for the city because it provided us with the framework needed to move our sustainability plan forward. The audit identified about $2 million in improvements that will increase energy efficiency in the city's 5 buildings. Federal grant money, loans, and rebates from XL Energy, with facility manager Mike Haggard's leadership, improvements to date include installing programmable thermostats, replacing incandescent lamps with CFLs, placing solar panels on the Civic Center roof, light sensors, energy-efficient fans, recycling bins, and pool cover. When completed, we hope to net more than $160,000 in energy savings and eliminate more than 1,200 tons of carbon dioxide emissions each year. More than 85% of our residents are participating in the curbside recycling program that began in 2009. This recycling program is provided to the residents at no additional cost. This is something that is not done but in a few other cities. But more importantly is the amount of waste being recycled, 8% of the total tonnage. Thanks to Streets and Traffic Operations Manager Sam Hoover for overseeing this program. I challenge everyone to increase their participation in this program in the coming year, trying to get that number over 10%. The city is continuing to expand sustainability efforts, forming a staff green team comprised of various departments who are working on a sustainability plan for government operations and function to bring ideas forward from their departments on how we as city employees can use our resources in a more environmental friendly manner. This group will ensure the sustainability plan aligns with the city's day-to-day operations and long-term vision. Thanks to our sustainability coordinator, Toby Mays, for his work on this program. The city will also be educating residents on some of the low-cost ways to go green at home. I'm excited we're taking a practical approach to sustainability, and even more excited that we have local companies who are engaged in clean energy achieving clean goals. Douglas Colony, who I had talked about earlier, they've been in our city for nearly 40 years, expanded their business model last year to include new energy, and they actually installed the Civic Center solar panels that are on the roof now. XL Energy realigned its solar rebate program to align with City Council's goals, and Commerce City's Alpine Waste recently opened the largest private natural gas fuel facility in the state for their fleet. Waste Management is even moving towards CNG-powered vehicles for their recycling pickup. These are the type of companies we're looking to recruit here in Commerce City. Commerce City has become a regional and national leader through participation in key organizations. Several of our City Council members, including Mayor Pro Tem Snyder and Councilman Teeter, have been involved in national organizations for a number of years. I'm glad that we're passing the National League of Cities baton to Councilman Bullock and Councilman Marino. Councilman Marino also serves as the chairman of Congressman Ed Perlmutter's Latino Advisory Board. They will continue to ably represent the city moving forward. I've had the honor of being appointed to Metro Mayor's Caucus Executive Committee by my peers, as well as by the caucus newly formed International Committee. I also represent the city on the Governor's Regional Air Quality Council, guiding policies on difficult environmental issues. And it's not just us elected officials that are leading the way. Staff's been recognized throughout the state and metro area. For example, Jenna Johnson, Youth Recreation Coordinator, was recognized as the state's outstanding new professional. City Manager Jerry Flannery was awarded the McCloy Fellowship by the American Council on Germany. Mary Pat Gallis, Community Service Supervisor, sits on the boards of Colorado Parks and Rec Association, Adams County Senior Hub Respite Care, and A-Lift Transportation. Sergeant Mark Micklejohn graduated from Northwestern University Police Staff and Command Course. Director Roger Tinklenberg in his Finance Department received Excellence in Financial Reporting from the Government's Financial Officers Association for the 23rd straight year. What a phenomenal example. Director Brittany Morris was elected chair of Metro Denver's Economic Development Corporation's Economic Development Professionals Group. Parks and Rec staff received Columbine Awards from Colorado Parks and Rec in the Administrative Management and Programming. Sustainability Coordinator Toby Mays was asked to be one of 12 members on the Governor's Energy Office Leadership Team. And Intergovernmental Relations Manager, Ms. Rim Cordero, received the Metro North Chamber's Leadership Person of the Year. City Clerk Laura Bauer is the president of the Colorado Clerks Municipal Association, who's having their fundraiser and lunch here in Commerce City. Tom Aker, Deputy City Manager, represents Commerce City on the Metro Basin Roundtable, Interbasin Compact Committee's Public Education and Public Outreach Group. Director Carolyn Keith is the Colorado Parks and Rec Association Liaison to the Colorado Municipal League. Leanne Wickersham sits on the board for the Colorado Code Enforcement Officers Association. Detective Aaron Conroy awarded the Dale McLaughlin Award for his dedication and service to sexual assault victims. Tony Armillo, Parks Development Supervisor, represents as a playground safety instructor for the Colorado Parks and Rec Association Park Section. Lieutenant Chuck Sauniers, who I think I saw before, just graduated from the FBI National Academy. That's no easy treat. And Manager Dave Lutter sits on the board of Access Housing. Athletics Recreation Supervisor Tim Moore is a member of the association's Colorado Association of Recreational Athletics section. Brian McBroom, Deputy City Manager, Colorado Municipal League Liaison to Planning Officials. Sergeant Dan McCoy and Detective Derek Aragon both received honors as Peace Officers of the Year. Building official Pat Buckley was appointed by the governor to serve on the State of Colorado Board of Licensure. Permit technician Kathy Dean serving as treasurer for Colorado Association of Permit Technicians. Lead permit technician Ann Freeberg is serving as a director for the Colorado Association of Permit Technicians. Unbelievable. It's almost as if everybody that works for the city is doing something outside. Again, Metro Mayor's Caucus International Committee, which I helped create with Mayor Larry Hart, is leading the way with China relationships. The city was honored to host the German McCloy Fellows this year and is creating a sister city relationship with Mexico, as well as furthering our sister city relationship with Nanning, China. I'm also excited that we continue to work with our local government partners, such as South Adams County Water and Sanitation, South Adams Fire Department, Adams 14 and 27J school districts to provide information on a regular basis. All of our successes could not be possible without fiscal leadership. Over the last 2 years, City Council has led the way, requiring the staff be fiscally responsible during the economic turndown. Thanks to staff efforts, strong reserves, and a diverse sales and use tax revenue base, we were able to weather this storm. With the help of Finance Director Roger Tinklenberg and his staff, we've balanced the budget over the last 3 years of the economic crisis. We were one of the few municipalities that didn't furlough or lay off employees. This year, we actually ended with a surplus of funds that was programmed back into the community. We continue to provide our employees with some of the best benefits in the region. Commerce City contributes 100% of the employee-only and family health coverage, with a nominal cost for those selecting a different plan. Human Resource Director Heather Spencer and her team continue to ensure that the city is competitive with regional municipalities. For example, we offer a matching 401A program that enables employees to be vested in 5 years. City management continues to maintain open relationships with employees, and the city's vision in approving a collective bargaining ordinance will only further the work already being done. We look forward to providing these types of benefits to retain and attract the best employees in the region. We've also embarked on creating a groundbreaking long-term financial plan for Commerce City, covering all aspects of city revenues, operating expenditures, and capital improvement needs. While our fiscal situation is strong, as with most municipal and county governments, our long-term plan shows the future operations and long-term needs will far outpace the revenues. So the financial plan looks at challenges facing the city, examines the options and potential solutions, and makes those recommendations to provide a financial plan of action for the next 10 years. In the coming months, Council will discuss the trade-offs that need to occur to best determine our fiscal policies and strategies for the future. I hope our community and business leaders will take an interest in this process and provide feedback on the difficult decisions that remain ahead. Without these sustainable partnerships, the city's success would be dimmed. I've mentioned many of our nonprofit partners already and their contributions to building a quality community for a lifetime. I can't begin to thank you enough for augmenting our community with your programs and service offerings. During this year's council retreat, we discussed the need to strengthen our relationships with both Adams 14 and 27J school districts. The success of our educational partners translates to success for the city in economic development pursuits and drawing new residents to our community. We look forward to working with both boards of education to ensure that we support each other. Partnerships for healthy communities and Live Well played important roles in our wellness success stories. Thanks to Intergovernmental Relations Manager, Ms. Ram Cordero, we've had the largest 9 News health fair in their organization's history right here at the park. I'm looking forward to another successful event later this year. We're also working with the One Community Board and Community Enterprise to augment community dialogue about cultural diversity. I'm excited that Lieutenant Governor Joe Garcia is going to be the keynote speaker at an event hosted by these groups on May 20th. We also appreciate having a positive relationship among Adams County municipal partners through our regular mayors and managers meetings. We are excited that the new Adams County Government Building is less than a mile from our golf course, shopping, and restaurants. Congratulations on a gorgeous facility. We hope that your employees will take advantage of our amenities. We took steps last year to increase transparency through revamping of the city's website and putting our meetings on the Internet. Since that time, we've expanded our capabilities, live streaming meetings on our website and on Comcast Channel 8, which this is also being transmitted. A third-party audit of our external and internal communications programs identified some of the challenges the city faces in effectively communicating with residents, businesses, and even the media. Moving forward, our goal is to engage in a two-way dialogue with all members of the community, increasing transparency in communications to engage students or engage citizens in the participatory democracy that we have. Council is also committed to being more accessible, and I hope all of you will join us for the annual neighborhood outreaches this summer. This year, we're going to be at Reunion on June 6th and at Pioneer Park on August 9th. These evening events last from 6:30 to 8:30 and provide an opportunity for your neighbors to enjoy a healthy barbecue and learn about the services and programs provided by the city, as well as a lot of third-party partners. We're working on building a strong, proactive communications program that reaches employees as well as all of our external customers. It's important to engage in these two-way dialogues and look for new and revised communication tools that will help us do just that in the coming year. As an example, employees receive a monthly email from the city manager, and we're relaunching our city's social marketing tools, even live tweeting this event. If you haven't seen, even the mayor is now tweeting, thanks to Councilperson Marino. I had to buy him breakfast for him to teach it, so it wasn't really free. If we don't measure our actions, we can't really determine if we're successful. That's why we have several tools to track what we do. With the comprehensive plan now in place, the city established a system that monitors a variety of trends and measures the progress of the city. More than 40 indicators will provide a snapshot into the overall direction and condition of the city, whether it's improving, declining, staying the same, or some combination thereof. We're in the first year of gathering this information to determine a baseline assessment. Then data will be provided on an annual basis, allowing City Council to gauge how the community is doing compared to the projections of the C3 Vision Plan. We've also conducted our Citizens Needs Assessment Survey this year. As I've shared, we've learned a lot about our residents that complements some of the census data received earlier this year. We'll continue to seek formal input on a biannual basis to track trends and progress. In the interim, we're always seeking feedback from our constituents through a number of channels, including Ask C3 on our website, participation in council meetings, emails, or even phone calls. Bottom line, we want to hear from you and how to make our community even better. During this year's council retreat, my colleagues and I set forth the following goals for 2011 through 2013. We want to develop a balanced and vibrant city budget, effectively provide services and amenities, enhance quality of life, and position the city for continued growth, craft sustainable partnerships that benefit residents and businesses alike, and create a community built upon a culture of leadership and excellence. New this year was a desire by Council to regular quarterly reporting by staff as to how the city is reaching these goals and sharing information more readily available with the community, building upon our desire to increase communication. I know you didn't know we'd ever get to this part, but we're now to the closing. I told you never let elected officials talk, especially when they've locked the doors so you can't get out. The focus of the City Council, as well as the city staff, will always be on what is best for Commerce City. Residents who have lived here for years, I want to thank you for getting this dream started. Because of you and your determination, we started down the road we're presently on, and your dreams are becoming a reality. To the residents living in the Northern Range, thank you for taking the chance to move to what appeared to be a deserted area with no services but plenty of vision. We are now seeing the results of your move here. To my colleagues on City Council, it's been a pleasure serving with you and working with you to set a forward-thinking path that will benefit generations of Commerce City residents for years to come. As a point of personal privilege, I want to thank term-limited council members, Mayor Pro Tem Snyder, Councilwoman Teeter, and Councilman Johnson for their commitment to our city. I've been an advocate for efficient and effective government during my term. Being an agent of change is never popular and never easy. But change has been put Commerce City on a path that must continue for future growth to occur. I believe my tenure as mayor helped put Commerce City on the local, state, national, and even global map. We have had many great leaders within our community. I hope many of them will consider public service in November as a way to contribute even further. There are 5 openings on our council come November. This could change the complete complexion of our city and make sure that we continue on this path of going forward. I look forward to seeing future elected officials continue to be engaged not only within our borders, but throughout the region, ensuring Commerce City has a voice and a presence in metro area decision-making. Our recent citizen survey indicated 49% of our residents are proud or somewhat proud to live here in Commerce City. That's a 10% increase from 2008. This is a trend that I wish to see continue to grow. With this being my last year, actually my last 6 months in office, I want to thank all of you for the exciting times of my term. While not everything has gone the way we wished, we all came together and really advanced the positioning of our city. As such, the state of Commerce City is strong. I'm proud to be part of our leadership, our successes, our planning, and our forward thinking. I'm proud that we're building a community for a lifetime, or a quality community for a lifetime, and challenge each of you to play your part in continuing the growth of our great city. I want to thank you all for being patient and listening to me today. You all have a good day. Thank you very much. This has really been a real exciting time for me, and these next 6 months, with the help of my Mayor Pro Tem and my council, I think we've still got a lot of really great things to see in the next 6 months, and I look forward to you all having a part in it. Thank you all for coming. Oh, good. I flipped up a couple.